What's up, crew? First real one of the year, huh? Let's do it.
What did you learn about the MSC when you trained them?
It was great, and just being with the guys in California, and just training with them, and the bonding time. Obviously, that's always important. That's one of the best parts about it all. But I think the work ethic is everything, and how much knowledge they had, and how much they gained, and how much we gained together, and that's why we look so sharp out here, in my opinion. Just from the first guy, to the number one guy, quote unquote, to Tyler, all the way down to the guys who are just trying to make the team, maybe just join the team or whatever it may be. That's exciting. There's a lot of great competition in the receiver room, great competition at tight ends, running backs. So it's a special thing for us to have so many talented guys, but also guys who really care about one another, guys who are dedicated to one another, guys who want to compete, whether if it's beach volleyball or if it's jog ball, or if it's real football, or shoot around. We have some fun. So it's been a great time.
Personality-wise, any interesting personalities come about?
I compared DK to LeBron. He was talking all this trash, and he looks like him kind of, as big as he is. But so we had some fun there. I'm sure you guys saw the videos and everything that we made, West to East or whatever. So that was fun. But Ursula was great. There's a lot of great guys. I really love Keenan. Keenan's ability to lead too as well. His work ethic was great. Everybody stands out. That's the challenging part about this process of preseason is figuring out. You create a great bond, and maybe that guy plays with you for a long time. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes to a different team. And so, but it's really about relationships. It's about building those, so everybody, we had a great time. I think the cannonball thing. I think Will Disley's cannonball scene, Anchorman, Ron Burgundy was spot on. I don't know if it gets any better.
Russ, you were kind of talking about, I think, in the videos that building off the field relationships with your receivers is more important for you than it's ever been. Why is that the case now?
Well, I think going into year 8, and I think there's a responsibility. Always has been. Don't get me wrong, I'm not degrading any of the other times, but I think there's a responsibility. There's so many young guys, and guys who are really, really bright, really, really talented. I mean, obviously, DK Metcalf doesn't look or get any better in terms of his talent level. He's as smart as it gets too. He wants to learn. We were getting up at 5:30, working out at UCLA at 5:45. Me and him, the week before, and then guys were super excited to come down to California and down to SoCal and get to work in, and But more than anything, I told them too. I think for me, it's really about their lives, and really, when they win, I win. When I win, we all win, and I think that's really the thought process, and doing it together, making them the best. At the end of the day, this is our livelihood, And I was telling them, we can have fun and we can enjoy it and all that. But the reality about this game is, it's what we get paid to do. It's a living. And it's the best job you can possibly have if you can make it. And every time you step onto the field, every opportunity you get in practice, every time you wake up in the morning, can you serve others? Can you make the other person better? And I think that's super important, to think about. And, my job more than anything else, to help our football team win, to go where we, in my opinion, could possibly go. It's definitely possible. And I really believe that. It's possible. And I really believe that the guys that we have, there's a great chance that we could do something special. But I think more than anything, it starts with the relationships. It starts with the extra time. It starts with the off-the-field stuff, but also the extra time in the film room. And then what that does is it translates to touchdowns and success, and everybody gets to celebrate with one another.
Did you say DK was there a week before everybody else?
Well, yeah, he was going to California, went to the ESPYs, and he was coming and everything else, so we put the work in early in the mornings, and just got some extra work in, so that was great. And so, yeah, I think it's important to make sure you spend that time with certain guys and try to build those one-on-one relationships. Obviously, DK being the guy that he is, and the guy that the position they get drafted in, there's a lot of high expectations on him, and letting them know that, hey, we're here to do everything we can to make you the best player you can possibly be. And the great thing is he makes it easy on us because he wants to put the work in. And then the rest of the guys too, they were all ready to roll and ready to come down to California and get the work in too.
Have you seen anything different out of Rashad Penny this camp than a year ago?
I think he's always been really smart. I think more than anything else, though, he's really comfortable right now in terms of, in a positive way. He's really comfortable in the sense that, he really understands the protections. He really understands the route concepts and what he's trying to do, his cuts, And the thing about the running backs, it's always kind of hard to tell how good they are until they put pads on. That's the reality about running back. Chris Carson looks unbelievable. Penny looks great. CJ looked good today. JD looked good today. He's great. I mean, Homer had some nice runs. So the reality is once you put those pads on, you really get to figure out who's who. And Penny's a tough guy. He can make some huge runs. He had a great kind of breakout couple moments last year, and now it's time to have a full breakout season. And hopefully he can do that for us.
2 days in, what have you seen from the line in front of you?
Can you say that again?
Just what are you seeing out of the offensive line? A bunch of experienced guys on.
Well, the first thing I feel just is consistency. I think that's the most important thing is that consistency of from left to the right. I think Big Mike coming in, his knowledge of the game, understanding how to play the game and how to play the guard position at such a high level, is awesome for us too. I think we're going to be really tough. I think we're going to be passionate. I think we're going to be really smart, and those guys are going to give me a great time. So we're looking forward to it. They've been really, really good. What we're going to need is if those five guys are going to be the main guys, but 6 and 7. And maybe number 8, they got to be ready to play too. So that's really important for us, so figuring out who those extra few guys are.
You talked about how tough it was last year having to miss all those games. Just how key is it having them back out here already and having them out here at training camp?
I think Disley is, first of all, you think about how he broke out in the beginning of the year. You think about the Broncos game. I think he had 99 yards or whatever he had, broke out, had, a great touchdown, broke some tackles. He may have had more than that, I don't know. He just made so many great plays. Chicago, he did great, made some great plays and everything else. And he had the injury. And I think the thing about him is he's the high character level player that you want on your team. He's the ultimate competitor. He's the definition of what a Seahawk should look like, in terms of, his passion for the game, his understanding of the game, his love for each other, love for the other players, how he takes care of his business. That's what we want to be about. And he's a championship caliber player, and we're glad that he's on our team. And so we're glad that he's back. He's fully getting back too. He's really, I was able to throw with him obviously down in San Diego and just see his progression from when we were here at OTAs to now, and just how strong he's looking and how confident he's feeling, which is huge for us. So he's a great blocking tight end. He's smart. He knows how to run all the right routes. He gets open. He's a big time player for us, and he's going to be a big player for us for the rest of his career, hopefully.
Brian called Jerron Brown an underutilized player last year. Said maybe we tapped more into this year. What have you seen from him? You think he's a guy who can have a bigger role this year?
Yeah, JB did great today. As you saw him get open a few times. He caught the back shoulder, caught some other things on the field. Then he caught the touchdown, deep touchdown. He's explosive. He knows how to play the game. He came, coming from Arizona. They threw the ball a ton. So he, being around Larry and those guys, he really understands the game. He really understands concepts and how to get open, how to create separation. He did a great job of that last year. He's great in scramble drills. He's great in blocking too. He just does it all right. I mean, you can't get any more exact and perfect on what he's doing and how he's doing it. He's a true pro. So it's great to have him as a receiver, for us. And he's been exceptional for us. It's been exciting just to hit his plays. And going back over the film, of last year, it's like, man, we got to get him more involved. He's really special. He caught 5 touchdowns last year, I believe. Can he double down on that? If we can double down on that, that's a good thing for us.
Brian Schottenheimer was just saying, you guys kind of year 2 now, the relationship is just that much better and deeper, and he kind of was talking about calling you sometimes kind of on the way home and asking about practice, stuff like that. Just how would you characterize, I guess, how that relationship has grown?
Yeah, well, Shotty and I, the first thing when he came in last year was really, let's get to the work part of it and all, and let's build that work relationship and everything else. So fast forward, very quickly we got really close because we really connected because of his passion for the game, his passion for his family, everything else. Who he is as a person. He's a great human being. And he's a great coach. I've been around some great coaches. He really understands the game. He really knows how to coach the game. He's a great teacher of the game, and so that's what makes him exceptional at what he does. I know he gets some criticism, just from the outside. That's part of the game. But the reality is, he's a great football coach, and he's been a great help for me and our football team. What we've been able to do, the different personnels, the different people, the things the way guys are learning. It's been great for us. So I'm really excited. And so in terms of the personal side of things and relationship of just how we've grown, we're always talking. I mean, we talk almost every day, to be honest with you, just about life or about whatever, and then obviously football too. So I think that's important, and I think we're constantly talking about this player, that player. Hey, how this guy look today? This, all those details, and then we're meeting extra afterwards, and sometimes before, and hopping on the phone. Like we were talking on the phone probably 11:15 last night. Just trying to figure out what we're going to do today and the next day after that. So just thinking through things and how guys are doing. So it's exciting.
Your impressions of Kyler Murray
I haven't gotten to see Kyler play in person, obviously, yet. But in terms of watching him, he's lights out. He's a great football player, great competitor, great baseball player. And so I'm excited for him. I was able to build a pretty cool relationship with him right before the draft. As we wanted to get together and talk a little bit because he was asking me, this and that, and and so I'm excited for him. At the end of the day, one of the things I kind of told him very simply is, when you lay your head down at night, what do you want to be doing, and what's your thought process in terms of the football, baseball thing. And so he's a great competitor. It's going to be fun, playing against him and all the things he's going to be able to do and us too. And so it's going to be exciting.
You think you helped pave the way?
Listen, I think there's a lot of guys before me, and I wouldn't say a lot, but there's a handful of guys before me that were able to set up the situation for him. I think obviously, funny thing is we were watching some Fran Tarkenton today. Fran Tarkenton way back in the day, it was the first real kind of short quarterback that was able to scramble and make plays like that. I think, guys like Doug Flutie, guys like Michael Vick, guys like Donovan McNabb, who's able to make a lot of plays, Steve Young, but the most recent, obviously, Drew Brees, who I think, really, to be honest with you, we're very similar in stature and everything else, and how we throw and all those similarities. And I think that kind of cracked the door open for me, and just my work ethic and the ability, hey, let's give this guy a chance. And I think, I think that was a big thing for me, Drew, and me and his relationship, we've gotten really close. And then for me, I think going out there, that's one of the things I've always wanted to do is play at the highest level possible, consistently at the highest level possible. One, so I can continue my career as long as I can, right? I want to play 20 plus years, and then at the end of the day, can it open the door for someone else? And hopefully that's done that for Kyler.
You mentioned before Trevor Moawat's helped you a lot this year. You worked a little bit in the offseason with Jake Heaps. How's he kind of helped you out?
Well, Trevor's always been a huge part of my life. The past 10 years, he's been my mental coach and everything else. We do Limitless Minds now and all that stuff with corporations and everything. So I think he's just been a great friend, a great partner, and just a great person, partner of the mind, in a way. We really constantly talk every week, almost every day. And so that's a big thing for me mentally is I want to be the best in the game mentally. That's kind of, I always want to be I always want to feel like anything's possible. And that's kind of my mentality. Always has been since I was young, and just continue to build on that. We work on our body so much, and our throwing ability, and our footwork, and just studying and everything else. But one thing that we don't work on very often is our mind. And how do we increase that? How do we challenge that? No matter who you are, we all have things in life. We all have things that we have to overcome. We all have challenges. We all have things that we want to be great at. So one of the key parts is how we think and how we process. And then Jake has been great. He came down to this offseason. Jake Heaps has, we've always been good friends, and he's been in the QB room and all that stuff when we do RWQB together and RWPA. But I think one of the things that is great with Jake is just his detail. He's honest. He can work on me, challenge me, this and that. So it's good in the offseason just to be around. We're great friends, and it's great to work with him. He knows the game. He studies the game, and he loves the game. So that's been great.
Your trust factor with Doug Baldwin is always so high. He always had that, almost like a security blanket.
Yeah.
Who goes to the top of that list? Is that Tyler this year? I know you can trust all of your guys. But does Tyler go up there?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler and I, we've been super close in being able to connect and make a lot of great plays together. Doug is, he was one of a kind, man. He could really create separation, get open. Obviously, we're gonna miss him. His ability to make plays, his tenacity, what he brought to the table. So I think with Tyler, he studies the game really, really well. He knows his craft. He knows what he can do. He knows how to create separation. He's great on deep balls. He's great in the short game, mid-range game. He can do everything. And so I'm looking forward to that game time connection and making that happen again. So, he sees things really well. I just think about last year. We'll go back to last year. Obviously, what we were able to do, with the rating and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not really a numbers person, but it's very rare, obviously. And so I think that's all the work ethic, all the challenging each other after practice, and just at the end of the day, just making plays, and just that trust that you have to have. And then I think about, I'll use an example, but, the third down, and I think it was 3rd down and 7 against Carolina late in the game. Got to make a play. Slide left, boom, Tyler stops and turns upfield, boom, hit him deep, game over, lights out. I mean, that's the funny thing, though, about that situation. We kind of talked about it, on walkthrough on that Wednesday and Thursday. Hey, something happens here. I may do this. I'm like, okay, I got you. I'll move this, So sure enough, it comes to life. So that's the kind of stuff that, I think great football players do, and that's what Tyler is.
The ball today got tipped. It ends up getting picked. I think it was to DK. What happened on that?
I just missed him a little high, so we got some extra reps. Big eraser, we started over, got some reps in the background, and I don't even remember it anymore.
Speaking of extra reps, whenever the few times on deep balls that you don't connect, it seems like you're always having the guy stay out there and throwing another one. Why is that important to you to just kind of do it again right then?
Well, I think it does two things. I think first of all, I think it clears your mind, because when you're running back, you're going to the next play, you're thinking about it, right? The first thing you want to do is, okay, I caught it. Okay, yeah, I missed it, but I caught it, right? So it's a confidence, but it's also a feeling thing. I caught the football, down the field. You try to put the similar throw there for the guy so you can catch it in that same position. And I think you never want to leave the gym on a miss. That's just kind of the mentality. You always want to end on a miss. I've kind of always done that. I think my dad instilled that in me when I was really young, just that process of, if we miss the throw, we're going to hit it again. And, take 10 seconds, let's get it going, but move on. I think that ability to have that amnesia and move on to the next play, but also feel confident that you can move on. Hey, I did this, I accomplished that. So that way, if it happens in the game, that ball comes, that same ball, you're not thinking, oh, shoot, I missed this during the week, So, here it goes, So I think that's important. So I remember my dad, when I was young, when I was 7 years old, he used to hit me ground balls, and if I missed one, hey, we're going to do it again, boom, So that was a big thing.
Have you talked to Bobby at all about kind of his situation and where he is right now and kind of what he
I talked to Bobby. He's one of my great friends, and a guy that we come in 2012. When we came in 2012, they gave us an F grade, remember? So we sat down, Bobby, myself, Bruce Urban, the rest of the guys. We sat down in the room and said, "Hey, we're going to change the outlook," and that was a big thing. So that's still the case today, So he deserves to be the highest paid linebacker. There's nobody better than him in the game. That's just the honest truth. He's done great things. He's put up the stats. He's done all the things. I think he'll get taken care of. I just give him the confidence it'll work out. And we need Bobby Wagner. He's a great football player. I don't want to play him. That's for sure. I'd love for him to be on my team. Let's play together for a long time. And so, Bobby and I have goals too. We're very similar. We want to win a Super Bowl together again, and multiple more. A few more Super Bowls, and end it the right way, and what I mean. So that's kind of our mentality.
Sean Hammer talked about having a lot of tight ends who are all kind of different. They all bring different things to the table. How do you sort of address that?
Yeah, we got a lot of different tight ends. I think the good thing is they're all similar in terms of their work ethic. They're all similar in terms of their knowledge. But you want to have a good mixture of guys. You got Nick Vanette, who's been with us. He's a smooth criminal. He just knows how to get open. He's really smooth. He's chill. He sees things well. You saw that ball. He caught him 3rd down contested. Kind of put it up high for him, and he snags it. Just no big deal for him. He's like a great catcher. You want to have a great first baseman, a great catcher in baseball. He's that guy. He's got great hands in that situation. Big Ed, he was great for us. You think about the Green Bay game last year, just how he makes key plays. When he came back from the Lions game last year in the corner route, obviously Disby, as we talked about him earlier and what he can do and his ability, he could be comeback player of the year. We're hoping for, just make big plays for us. There's so many guys, but I think Jacob Hollister's been great too to see. His quickness, his ability to get open, his ability to read routes and read concepts. I think him and Tom and that organization, he understands football and understands the game. There's Swoops as well. He's been great for us. Justin, he's been cool to watch as a young player. I'm trying to think if I'm leaving anybody out, but we got a lot of different guys that can make plays, so it's exciting.
You mentioned DK in comparison with LeBron. Maybe that's just in the Smack Talk arena, but we're talking to kids up there wearing his jersey or comparing him to Superman. out the gate. What do you say, you're talking about the mental aspect, to somebody for whom the expectation is that high? You know,
I think in terms of high expectations, I think expectations are what you expect. At the end of the day, and that's not some groundbreaking philosophy, but I think that at the end of the day, it's what you expect, not what everybody else expects. I think what you set the standard to be. I think he has a high standard for himself. You create your own standard. You create your own standard by how you work. You create your own standard by you're not necessarily trying to prove other people, wrong. You're just trying to prove yourself right. And I think that's what he's trying to do. That's what I've always tried to do. That's what Bobby Wagner's tried to do. That's what so many other guys have tried to do. And so I think, one of my goals is to make each guy, that I get to play with, make them the best they can possibly be, and make each play, make that play the best play we can possibly make it, and make our work ethic and our understanding of the game the best it can possibly be. So I'm excited about that for DK because he makes it easy. He wants to do the work. Some guys don't want to do the work, not on our team, but just in general, that when they're high draft picks, or whatever, they think they just come out here and just run routes and catch the ball, and some guys can do that. But at the end of the day, if you can have the mixture of a great attitude, a great work ethic, being a great teammate, and having a great love for the game, and you put all that together, then you have something special. He's got the talent to be a Hall of Fame type player, but we haven't played game one yet, so you got to prove it every day. So how you do it is you prove it today, and you prove it tomorrow, and you prove it the next day, and you just let them add up. When you look back at it, hopefully it was worth it.
Thank you.
You guys go Hawks.
Yep.